കോഴിക്കോട് ജന്മഭൂമി എഡിഷൻ ഉദ്ഘാടന ചടങ്ങിൽ അനുരാഗ് സിംഗ് ഠാക്കൂർ സംസാരിക്കുന്നു. തത്സമയത്തിലേക്ക്.
Respected श्री सुनील अंबेकर जी, अखिल भारतीय प्रचार प्रमुख राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ, श्री के राजशेखरन जी, फॉर्मर गवर्नर, मेयर डॉक्टर बीना फिलिप जी, ओलंपियन श्रीमती पीटी उषा जी, श्री के वी हसीब अहमद जी, श्री पी नारायणन जी, श्री के एनआर नंबूत्री जी, श्री कवलम शशि कुमार जी, श्री के बी श्री कुमार जी, श्री मधुकर गौर, श्री सुनील कुमार, श्री एमपी श्रीमती जयलक्ष्मी, श्री सेतु माधवन जी, सीनियर प्रचारक, बीजेपी डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रेसिडेंट श्री वी के संजीवन जी, आरएसएस प्रांत कार्यवाह श्री ईश्वरन जी, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, friends from the media, a very good morning to all of you. Namaskar. I'm happy to be here once again after a gap in Kerala, which is known as God's own country. COVID-19 pandemic has kept us apart, could not allow us to have the large gatherings. But I'm happy to be here again on a special occasion, and I'm pleased to inaugurate the new office block of Janam. My heartfelt congratulations to the media house. I could see the vibrancy of the state from the august gathering at this important event. As country's information broadcasting minister, I feel elated that I am participating in an event hosted by an organization which enjoys a prime place as a part of the fourth estate. I am happy to learn that its vibrant and consistent reporting, editorials and TV coverage, Janam has made a mark for itself not only in Kerala but all across the country and abroad. I still remember while going through the various papers, news about the information about the Janam, the first copy of the editorial column in 1975 of Janam, and I quote, Janam will approach each problem on the basis of national unity, moral sense, patriotism, and public welfare, and think, evaluate, and formulate our opinion. I unquote. I'm glad that was the foundation and the idea behind starting the Janam newspaper, and after almost completing 5 decades, 47 years is not a short span. You have stuck to your values and you have grown not only in this part of Kerala but all across country, and you are a well-recognized newspaper and a media house abroad as well. My heartfelt congratulations on this achievement. Well, my dear friends, fourth state has to play an important role in building the public opinion. It played an important role in the pre-independence era. Media evoked the national fervor and patriotism even during the India's pre-independence struggle. It played an important role then also, but I believe that you have to play an important role now as well, a bigger role in India's quest for new India. In this context, media houses like Janam has a prime place. And when I talk about that you have to play an important role as a fourth estate, during the COVID-19 pandemic, more than pandemic, it became infodemic. And it is not only felt in India but globally. When we used to speak to so many people or the my counterparts abroad or at various events, lot of not only India but across the world, this problem of infodemic arose. And because of the misinformation, many lives were lost. There is a growing challenge because of that. So we have to also keep a check on that and see what is going on our newspaper, on our platforms, because there is a bigger challenge now with the digital media taking some place in the recent times. I'll come back to that. But you might have noticed in the pandemic time also the hard copy, the printed copy numbers have come down. One was the reader was not ready to accept it. Now with the war in one part of the world, there is a shortage of newspaper, the prices are going up. Second, with the digital India, it has also helped. In a way, the Prime Minister said, Aapada mein avsar. In these challenging times, we have to look for an opportunity. And I'm glad that media papers, media houses have seen an opportunity to go digital in that regard also. While interacting with various media houses in the last few months, I've realized their actual digital numbers have gone much higher. Your viewership, readership has gone much higher. I was with the Urdu newspaper industry last week. Well, the numbers which they were saying, the number of printed copies and the digital readership was about 3 times than that. That showcase that not only in India but across the world you can reach, and your reach can also increase. Janam Bhumi newspaper as well as the Janam TV have built a reputation for itself with fearless journalism and reporting on key issues within in-depth reporting and analysis. Since I come from a political party which believes in nationalism, and for us, nation first is the policy of Bharatiya Janata Party, and we always say it is a nation first, party next, and self last. I'm glad you work on the similar lines where you keep the nation first and your readers first, and for that you work day and night, and the credibility of the newspaper speaks for itself. But understanding the challenges you face, I would also look at how in a country like India with a federal structure, with different languages being spoken and different newspapers, periodicals we see in the regional area, I would also like to know how the Government of India with their cabinet decisions or major policy decisions can reach out to every nook and corner of this country. I've seen the kind of coverage being given by the regional newspapers that is actually helping in one part or the other part of this country. But still I believe there is a lot to do, and while post this inaugural session, when we'll sit over a cup of tea and I'll be meeting various editors or the owners of various newspapers, I would also like to know how we can work together to communicate better with others in this part of the country. Well, looking at the India's growth, if you look at the last 8 years of Modi government, what we have achieved. Pre-2014, if you look at 2010 onwards, it started with Commonwealth Games scam, 2G scam, various other scams from the coal scam to the Antriksh scam, scam after scam. And when we went for the election campaign, we promised that give us a chance, give Prime Minister Modi a chance. That time he was our Prime Ministerial candidate and the campaign head also. Only thing we promised at that time was that we'll give you clean government and good governance. And today, after 8 years of Modi government, I can proudly say with my head high that in last 8 years of Modi government, there is not even single incident of corruption, not even single paisa charge has been made against the Modi government. We fulfilled that promise. Not only that, when we talk about the public welfare, pro-poor schemes, well, there was one party in this country which ruled for more than 60 years. That party and that family gave a slogan of Garibi Hatao. Not for 1 decade, but for 4 decades they've been saying Garibi Hatao, Garibi Hatao. गरीब तो हटा नहीं, गरीब मिट गया, लेकिन उस पार्टी ने 60 साल राज किया. And one member of that party and that family is an elected MP from this state now. I don't know how often you see him. But when he contested from UP also, we hardly used to see him in Uttar Pradesh also. He lost election there as well. Recently he was here. I'll come back to that issue again. But all I'm trying to say, who were in the government for 60 years, when one of their leader, who was the Prime Minister at that time of this country, has said, I send 100 rupees and only 15 rupees reaches. 85 rupees is siphoned off. But today we can say, with the use of technology, with the use of transparent system, making the bureaucracy and the system accountable, with the Digital India campaign, by opening 45 crore bank accounts, by giving 130 crore Aadhaar cards, with the Jam Trinity, with the Jan Dhan, Aadhaar and mobile, and with the direct beneficiaries transfer, when Prime Minister Modi announces any scheme and we press a button, with the press of a button, to more than 20 crore women get 31,000 crore rupees by the click of a button without siphoning off even 1 paisa out of that scheme. That is the transparency we bring. That is how accountable we made the system. Even during the pandemic time, during the Garib Kalyan Yojana, Atmanirbhar package, 20 lakh crore rupees package was announced. Well, in a country like India, we can't even imagine of having a package of 20 lakh crore rupees. But during the pandemic, we made it possible. How? As I said, 20 crore 50 lakh women got 1500 rupees each, making it more than 31,000 crore rupees as an help to the women who had the Jan Dhan accounts. Even the specially abled, old age and the widows got 3,000 crore rupees. Those 3 crore people got 3,000 crore rupees as special help. No other country in the world could afford to give free ration, the free food grains, to more than 800 million people, which becomes 80 crore people have been given free food grains for not 1 month, 2 months, but more than 2 years by the Modi government, which no other country could do. Friends, I still see many wearing masks. During the last 2 years of COVID-19 pandemic, when it came, nobody knew what is the remedy. But at that time, I was the Minister of State for Finance, and I used to have frequent meetings with the Honorable Prime Minister, with Nirmala ji and Amit Shah ji, Prime Minister and other senior functionaries, to come out with the Atmanirbhar package. At that time also, when Prime Minister made a committee to look into how we can come out of this pandemic situation, how India can have its own vaccine. If you look at Congress rule for 60 years, even for vaccine in the past, they waited for 30 years. They used to import from abroad. They never realized to make it in India. We had the capacities. Our scientists could do so. but they never believed in Indians and the India's capacity. But Prime Minister believed in India's capacity, formed a smaller group, not one, but we made 2 vaccines, and I think we are the only country in the world which has done close to 200 crore vaccines. 200 crore vaccines administered. How many of you have the vaccine? Even big countries like US and others, they still give the manual certificate. We started. You go for vaccine, within few seconds, you get your certificate that you got the vaccine done. No other country in the world could do so. Only India did so. It was Prime Minister Modi. Not only that, look at the India's image globally today. We have seen the recent Quad meeting where America, Japan, Australia and India representative attended. American President, Japanese Prime Minister and the Australian Prime Minister were there. The kind of respect India's Prime Minister enjoyed today, it was never in the past. Look at the G7 meeting recently held. India was especially invited, but look at the kind of respect being given America's President.
ജന്മഭൂമി കോഴിക്കോട് എഡിഷൻ ആസ്ഥാന മന്ദിരത്തിന്റെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം നിർവഹിച്ച ശേഷം അനുരാഗ് സിംഗ് ഠാക്കൂർ സംസാരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു.